Now we will next talk about sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is a complex, slow, and elaborate process. First, let us understand what is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is a process of reproduction in which two parents are involved. Fusion of two gametes take place. It may be biparental or uniparental. Biparental we will see in humans, animals, and etc. Uniparental is seen in earthworm. In earthworm and tapeworm, we see both the sexes, male and female, are present in the same organism only. But in biparental, like those of humans and animals, sexes are different and two parents are involved for it. Two gametes fuse and it forms zygote. Which develop into a new organism. Since it involves two parents and two opposite sexes, so the offspring produced is not identical to their parent or amongst themselves. So these are the characteristic features of sexual reproduction. It's a complex, slow, and elaborate process. It involves various type of processes. We will discuss it in after videos, like fertilization, external, internal, different kind of fertilization, embryogenesis and gametogenesis, zygote formation. It's a very vast process and slow. It is slow process as compared to sexual reproduction, and it's a very elaborate process. Two parents are involved in it. Fusion of two gametes take place. Biparental, it may be of biparental or uniparental. Biparental, as we see in humans, animals, etc., and uniparental we see in earthworm, tapeworm, etc., in which both the sexes are present in the same individual. Two gametes fuse and it forms a zygote, and the zygote develop into a new organism. Okay, offspring produced, as the offspring are produced from two different parents, so as the offspring is produced from two different parents, so they are not identical to their parents or amongst them. Now, what are the phases of lifespan? What are the phases of lifespan? First is the juvenile phase. Juvenile phase in human and vegetative phase in plants. Next is the reproductive phase. And the next is senescence phase. Or aging phase. We also called it as aging phase. So there are three phases of lifespan. First is juvenile phase, reproductive phase, and senescence phase. Juvenile phase is seen in animals and humans, etc., and vegetative phase is only seen in plants. After that comes reproductive phase and senescence phase, or it is also called as aging phase. In juvenile phase, the organism reach the ability to reproduce their own offsprings, and in reproductive phase they produce their own offsprings. In senescence phase, the ability to reproduce gets ceased because of the hormonal imbalance, and they lose the ability to reproduce. So these are the three phases of lifespan that we see in different organisms, in plants, animals, etc. Sexuality in animals. Two types are there: unisexual and bisexual. Unisexual, in which both the sexes are present. For example, earthworm, tapeworm, etc. In bisexual, in which only one sex is present. Dogs, honeybees, etc. Unisexual organisms are capable to reproduce their own, but bisexual reproduction are not. The events, now we will discuss about the events involved. Events involved in sexual reproduction are pre-fertilization event, fertilization event, and the event which take place after fertilization, which is known as post-fertilization. So these are the basic events which take place in sexual reproduction.